Welcome back to the Rice and Slice Golf Show podcast. This is episode 71, and what an episode. This is going to be by far the best episode we've ever done. Something incredibly special has happened in one of our lives between me. Well, my name is Theo, by the way. Welcome back, guys. Episode 71. Gentlemen, eating the CBD gummies is Chenji.
Dude, I'm just preparing myself for this episode. Like, I need some extra vitamins.
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, you. I can't. Oh, right.
It's vitamins, mate. Vitamins.
Yeah, of course,
not
it's vitamins.
CBD.
Well, technically, they're both vitamins, mate. If you think about it. Welcome back, guys. It's gonna be a banger of an episode. I'm calling it now. This is gonna be, for me, the best episode we've ever done. The only thing that would top this episode, or my experience, is if one of us got to play Augusta. Otherwise, is that fair to say? I mean, what I've been through the past few days have been nothing but an emotional and wholesome roller coaster, from ups to downs to being disappointed to being being on a massive high to being on a massive low, but finishing on a massive high. It's been the best few days that I could possibly ask for. I genuinely, Chenji, I don't even know where to begin from.
I mean, look, I've got one goal for this episode, and that is to make you cry.
Dude, I'm not exaggerating. The amount of times that I've cried in the past 3 days, and even more. I probably cried 3 times the past 3 days. All 3 times were on the same day, by the way. And every other time that I almost cried has been from me getting very, very emotional and having to stop what I'm doing, because I knew if I'd said one more word came out of my mouth, I would start crying again. First of all, oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, what was that in my ear? First of all, what happened to me the past 2 days? Mate, where do I begin from?
Well, for those of you not following our socials, Instagram
at Rice and Slice, by the way, you definitely should. There's a link down in the description, and there's at Rice and Slice podcast, TikTok, Instagram. By the way, dude, TikTok is popping off. TikTok is doing well. So,
no, but for those of you who haven't seen it recently over the last couple of days, Theo, tell us, what have you been up to?
Chenji, man. So,
I need another gummy bear, mate.
There was an opportunity. Well, I wanted an opportunity. There's an event that goes on at the St Andrews, at the home of golf, St Andrews, on the old course, which it happens once a year. And you can play the old course in reverse, which, for whoever doesn't know, the reverse order of the old course is the original way that old Tom Morris envisioned this golf course to be. To be fair, the way he envisioned this golf course to be was to be played back reverse, so both ways. That's why there's 7 double greens, and that's why some bunkers are facing the way that they're facing. So if you play in reverse order, the face of the bunker is facing you. But when you play in the normal order, the bunkers are facing away from you. So you can see when you're playing, and even when you're watching it on TV, and you can visibly notice that the course is a bit of a weird shape, because it was designed to be played both ways. So in the 15th century, the way that this course was played was in what we call it now, the reverse order. This got changed 200 years ago, or probably more than that, when it went from a 22-hole golf course down to an 18 golf course. And they changed everything around, and the structure of the actual tee boxes and everything. And now it is played the way that we know, and the way that we see on TV, and the way that we see, every 5 years at the Open. Once a year, you can play the old course in reverse, but it's invitation only and it's for the members. And it's normally, but as far as I know, it's a 1 day thing. And as far as I know, and I don't know if this was just last year or if it's been like that all the time, this event takes place on a Sunday, which typically on a Sunday, the old course is actually closed and is open to the public. You can go there, you can have a picnic, you can play rugby, you can play football. You're not allowed technically on the golf course, but Chenji, when I went there on Sunday, it was a beautiful day and there was no like barriers around the greens. So you could technically like go up, like walk on the greens.
Wow.
But I don't know, but it was weird. Like you can see like dogs running around.
So normally you can walk on the golf course, but you cannot walk on the green.
Yeah, last time we went, because last time I went, there was like a barrier around all the greens. Like, a bit of rope. But this time, there was nothing. So you could technically sit on like the 18th green and have a picnic with your family. It's crazy to think about. Like the oldest golf course in the world, the first ever golf course, recorded in history. And on a Sunday, you can go there with your family and your dogs and just kind of let loose and play, I don't know, badminton and rugby and football. It's
anything but golf.
Anything but golf. It's mad to see. It's crazy. And it's so busy.
Can you imagine doing that in like Augusta National? That'd be
zero chance. Zero chance, right? But yeah, the golf course is owned by the council. It's not like owned by a company. So the council wanted to like preserve, all the history and all that stuff. That's why they kept it how they've kept it.
Well, not just the history, because it's people are taxpayers. People 100%. Are funding it.
Yeah,
right. And you got to reward the local population
and
for
fair
paying
play
the council
because,
tax.
Dude, it's so easy to open on a Sunday and make so much more money. It's like nobody would question it, right? And it's like the amount of millions that they lose every single year for not opening that one Sunday, but they're like, no, this golf course is for the public. It's for everyone to enjoy. So there's 7 golf courses. Overall in the entire of St. Andrews. 6 of them are like right next to each other, and then the castle course is like a 5-minute drive. I had the idea that on Sundays every single golf course was closed. No, it's only the old course that's closed. So on Sunday, when me and Stel went up there on Saturday night after I finished work. We went and played golf at a golf course called Panmure, which is in Carnoustie.
Near Carnoustie.
That's it. Yeah. So we went and played, and that is also a Tom Morris course design. It was a beautiful course. But the reason why we played that course was because we thought that every golf course in St. Andrews was closed. We later found out when we went to St. Andrews on Sunday, we saw people like walking around with their golf bags. And I'm like, where are these people going? Are they going to the driving range? Like, that's a lot of people for the driving range. So we went to sign up to the singles queue. And we asked, like, where's everybody going? He goes, mate, only the old course is closed on Sunday. And then we were like, so you're telling me I could have played one of the other St. Andrews courses?
Like, you drove all the way north to, like, Carnoustie, and then you could have just played at, like, the Eden course.
No, mate, there's so many good, like, I want to play the castle course and the Jubilee course.
The castle course is, like, some people even say the castle course is better than the old course.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of the actual experience.
Yeah. We'll get into that later on, right? But yes. So, I forgot where I was going with it. Oh yeah. So the original way to play the golf course is obviously the way that we see. But for the first time, and by what we understand from the caddies that we've had and we spoke to, probably the last time, this experience, shall we say, was open to the public. But the way of getting a tee time, it was close to impossible, right? The way you get a tee time normally is you have to enter a ballot 2 days before you plan on playing the golf course. And let's say you want to play on Monday, you sign up on the Saturday up until 2 p.m. And then at 5 p.m. the results go out, and then you find out whether or not you have a set tee time. So that way you can plan around your day. You can go and get like a practice in, or you can do whatever you want. So we did that. 5 o'clock rolls around on the Saturday. We hear nothing. There's nothing. So we're like, okay, it is what it is. And by the way, me and my cousin Stel were going to go up there, and we took the wives and the kids with us. So we booked a nice house, it was all great. Went from the Saturday night, all perfect, right? So when we were like going to go a week before, me and Stel were obviously texting and like going back, like, where do we want to play on the Sunday? What shall we get the kids and the wives to go and do while we're playing golf. Like, we just want everyone to be happy and like entertained. Stel, from start to finish, he was adamant that we were going to get a tee time on the old course reverse. And I was like, dude, please don't get your hopes up. I don't want you to like be let down when the time comes and we actually don't get to play. Because chances are that like there's 0 to no chance of us playing the old course. First of all, getting a tee time on the old course itself is hard enough. But getting a tee time to play in reverse I thought was near impossible, right? So you sign up like the 2 days before, no luck. I think I'm getting way too far ahead. I genuinely think I'm getting too far ahead. Anyway, we'll carry on. If I remember bits, by the way, keep in mind, I'm still like buzzing from this experience. So I might be going backwards and forwards. And I think that's fair enough. All right. Like you can tell by the way I'm speaking and like my excitement.
You can tell by the way Theo started this podcast that it's going to be a bit crazy. Like he literally started the podcast with like, this is going to be the best
So
podcast.
there'll be a lot of backwards and forwards, but I'm going to try and paint the best picture that I possibly can for this podcast. I want everybody listening and watching and Chenji to feel like they were right there next to me and to have the same feelings and emotions that I went through for those 2 days.
Well, actually, Theo, I changed my mind from initially, right? I'm not going to make you cry. You're going to have to make me cry today. That's the goal for this podcast.
Okay.
I'm already teary. It's not going to be very hard, I'm telling you that. So just kind of like, actually, you're going to have to make as many people cry who listen to this podcast as possible with this experience. I mean, I already cried a little bit looking at your Instagram story. So.
Yeah, dude, I'm not, honestly, because people listening to the podcast obviously know about the old course and its history and everything that it kind of means to us golfers and to everybody, right? Every single PGA professional, every single golf legend has played the old course. Walking over the Swilcan Bridge, teeing off on the 1st, teeing off on the 17th, teeing off on the 18th it's incredible. It's unheard of. You feel golf when you even turn up to the old course. Like, and it's a Sunday and you're just walking over there for the Swilcan Bridge. Look, I got goosebumps running through my body right now just thinking about it. Like me, this is the 3rd or 4th time that I went to St. Andrews, and every single time I turn that corner and I see the 18th fairway, tears just are running down my just I'm tearing up now, dude. I'm tearing up now, dude. Like it's just
I didn't even do nothing.
I know, dude. It's just like people listening. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to explain, but people that don't follow golf and that don't know about the old course, it's hard to explain to paint a picture in their head how important this historic place actually is, right? So me trying to explain to my wife or my cousins or my friends like that are not interested in golf what this place means is so difficult. But props to some people because they genuinely felt my passion and what it meant to me. Because like Christiana, mate, honestly, she couldn't have been better. The past few days, she was so happy when I finally when first of all when we went to St. Andrews, she just saw the joy in my face, and she was like so happy with me, like just to see that like somebody being so happy over a golf, over a thing. It's crazy, right? So. It's just the most important place in the world for me, or for any professional golfer. I'm not saying I'm a professional golfer by any means, but I'm saying, like, Tiger Woods says his favorite golf course is St. Andrews Old Course. Like, that's how much it means to people. It's not the hardest golf course in the world. It's not the easiest golf course in the world. It's not the most scenic golf course in the world. It's just the history that it holds is the most important golf course in the world, right? Mm. So getting a tee time normally at the old course is already hard enough. Like, you need to queue up, back then, you need to, you need to know somebody that knows somebody.
People used to stay up all night long.
Oh, dude, from like 3 p.m. the day before, I had that experience. I did
exactly.
that.
Like, I mean, which episode was that? Like, we got
mate, we
talked about it.
Yeah, it was. I think I will say it's like November last year. Me and Stel went again with the hope of getting a tee time on the old course. We waited from like 3 a.m. We were like 18th in the queue. We didn't get a chance to play, so we played it in the new course. But still, as an experience, it was incredible. Incredible. So we were 18th in the queue, and we still didn't manage to play the old course. So even being I don't know, 15th in the queue to play the old course in reverse, we knew how difficult it would be for us to play just because, dude, in the middle of winter, we could have managed to play it. So when the weather is better and it's in reverse, it's close to, in my mind, it's close to impossible, right? So we entered the ballot.
How was the weather?
On Sunday, the weather was absolutely incredible. So it would have been the best day to play the castle course because there wasn't that much wind. It would have been great. But on Monday, which we'll get to, the weather wasn't so great. We'll leave it at that for now, right?
Yes.
So we entered the ballot. We don't get lucky. Cool. So the second way of playing the golf course is by entering a singles queue. Now, a singles queue, it used to be you go to the old pavilion the day before, night before, hours before, and you queue up. You wait for 7 a.m. to roll around. The old pavilion opens, and then first come, first served. If you're first in the queue, you're first on the waiting list, and you just wait for somebody to pull out from that day's tee sheet, and then it's your turn to go. So, like I said earlier, when we went in November, I was number 18, and Stell was number 19, and we didn't get to play. So, but the way it works now is they've scrapped the queue. What they've done is they've added iPads in the old pavilion and in the new course pro shop. And you go there, you sign your name and all your details, your phone number, your email address and everything. And you take a picture of a selfie of yourself. So I can't go there by myself and sign up for Chenji and for Tom, Dick and Harry. Like you have to physically be there to sign up for the singles queue. So on Sunday, we go and we play golf. We finish straight, first things first. We go to the old course and we sign up. We sign up,
So
and then
tell us what time does that actually open? Like, the sign up.
Well, I'm guessing from 7, 8 in the morning. Whatever time the pro shop opens, then you have access to obviously to go inside and go on the iPad and sign up, right?
And that's for the same day. Or for the next day.
No, that's the day before.
So the day before, so at 7 o'clock the day before, you get to then
up until 2 o'clock in the
sign
afternoon.
up. So from 7 o'clock or whenever the pro shop opens,
So
up until 2 o'clock. But wouldn't that just be like a massive queue to get to the pro shop?
No. Because you go in, it's a 5 minute, like literally 5 minute thing. You fill out a form and you leave. It's that simple. And there's like four iPads. It's not. You can just go.
Yeah,
there.
but like if people were signing up to be like number one in the queue, people would sign up in front of the pro shop in the morning at 7 o'clock before they open.
No, that's not how it works. So whether you go number 1 or number 50 at 2 o'clock when the cutoff point is, those names get muddled up, and then it gets like shuffled around. So it doesn't matter whether you're first or last. You still have a chance. Because it's like getting your name pulled out of a hat, so it doesn't matter whether you're first or last.
So it's basically like they turned a queuing game into like a ballot,
basically. But it's a ballot for like 50 people or whatever, however many people signed up for the singles queue.
Because you actually had to physically be there, right? Yeah.
For example, I signed up half an hour before Stell, and Stell was number 13, and I was number 29. So technically, I should have been first or before Stell. But I was number 29 and Stell was number 13. So 2 o'clock rolls around. And keep in mind, at 2 o'clock, when it rolls around, if there's any empty slots, they get filled out by the singles. So by me or Stell or whoever signs up, right? So 2 o'clock rolls around. We're in the pub watching the Arsenal. Who were Arsenal playing? Arsenal was playing. Anyway, we're watching the Arsenal game. Who cares, right? About all I'm keep thinking about is like just checking my phone, refreshing emails. Halftime rolls around, we're drinking Guinness, we're having a great time, we're nervous. We're just waiting for this email to come through to let us know if we have a tea time for the day after. Anyway, 5 o'clock rolls around, which is when the cutoff point is. 5:15, no email. 5:20, no email. 5:30, no email. And I'm like, dude, did we put the wrong details? Anyway, like 5:45, we both get a text at the same exact time. And we both, at the same time, turned our phones around and just stared at each other. And we kind of hugged, and we were like, whatever happens, whether you get in or I get in, we go and we play. And if both of us play, great. If one of us plays, great. Just be happy for each other. Just go and just enjoy it. So that was the plan. We turned our phones around, and the text read, actually, I might be able to get the text up. Stay.
You should have asked your wives to take a video of you guys' reaction.
They weren't with us. They were at home at this point.
Fine.
1 second. It's somewhere here. Oh no, maybe I can't find it. Never mind. Oh, no. Okay, it's not here. But the text basically read, "Sorry, you have not been successful for the singles queue. You are on a waiting list. Please click on the link below, and you see your line in the queue." So we're like, okay, cool. You know, it's no problem. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. We click on the link. Stel clicks on the link. He's number 13. And I'm like, that's a good number. That's not bad. Like, you're up there. I click on my link. Mine says 29. I'm like, okay, Stel, man, look, have a great time. Don't worry about me. Your turn's going to come. I don't think, like, I was going to be surprised if Stel's turn would come, let alone me. Because being 13th in the queue on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, like, who's going to... You need 13 people to say, no, it's too windy today, or no, I can't be asked. To play the old course in reverse. Like, 13 people. That's just for Stel. And then I need to wait another, 29 more people for my turn to come. I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell I'm playing golf tomorrow, but that's okay. Keep in mind, we had booked a 12:30 tee time on the Castle course for the Monday, so that was plan B. So we're like, it is what it is. If he's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, we've tried, we've done everything we can possibly do. So we enjoy Sunday, we have a few drinks, we go out for meals, whatever. We get to bed. 8 in the morning was the getting up time for me and Stel. And we were going to kind of just go around, walk around St. Andrews, go to the old course and just chill. As soon 8 o'clock in the morning, Stel wakes up. He grabs his phone and he's about to go on Instagram and kind of do your morning routine, whatever, right? As soon as he grabs his phone, a message comes up and he says, you are top of the queue. You have 15 minutes to turn up to make your tea time. If you miss your slot, you will be disqualified from the singles queue. 8 in the morning. So
no, and he was up. Luckily, he was up.
Dude, he literally just grabbed his phone. And like the text came through. So he gets up, he runs in my room. He's like, Theo, dude, wake up. I need to get there within 15 minutes. Keep in mind, the house that we were staying in, it was a lovely 10 minutes, like a slow, relaxed 10-minute walk. So you could run to it in like 5 minutes.
Yes.
Where we parked the cars was not where we were staying. I parked, if you saw my video on TikTok, where I posted like an update, where me and Stel parked the cars, it was right next to the Swilcombe Bridge on the 18th fairway. Not on the road bit where you can get the balls hit, but like on an off-road where Russak's hotel is, right?
Yeah.
So my golf clubs were in my car. Stel's golf clubs were, so I don't even know why, they were in the house. So Stel had to run to the golf course with the golf clubs on his back. So I'm like, dude, quick, get down. Dude, he doesn't wash his face. He doesn't brush his teeth. He just puts clothes on quickly, gets his bag, and he legs it to the golf course. So I'm like, by the way, before like this happened, while he's getting dressed, I'm like, dude, run there. Obviously, I'm number 29. I'm not playing anytime soon. So I'll get dressed and then I'll come meet you on the 1st. So he's like, okay. And he legs it. He just goes, right? He sprints off, puts the golf bags on his back, and he just goes. I'm like, okay, cool. I go, I wash my face, do my little morning routine, put my clothes on, and then I just have a little lovely stroll to the golf course. And the way I walk to the golf course, if you've been to St. Andrews before, you know that where the first tee is on the 18th green, when you walk down towards like the Swilcombe Bridge, halfway through the fairway, there's like a road that goes across, right? And I was going to cross that road to go to the old pavilion. I was right next to the Swilcombe Bridge, just like beautiful morning, nice breeze. It was just lovely. I get a phone call from Stel and it's like, where are you? I'm like, dude, I'm like 5 minutes away. I'm just walking up. He goes, if we get here now, we can play together.
Fuck off.
And I'm like, what? And he puts the phone down. Keep in mind, this was like 9:15. This was like 8:15,
No
20
way.
past 8, right? So I'm like, what? I put the phone down. Dude,
Fucking leg it.
I'm not a runner. I'm not a runner. My exercise is golf. 8 in the morning, in the freezing cold, non-athletic, and I'm running. I get halfway where the road is on the 18th and the first fairway, and I pull my back.
Oh, no.
My back goes. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh. It was like back spasm. But I'm like, no, I'm seeing this through. I carry on running. I get to the old pavilion. Dude, I almost passed out. It was like everything was going dark in my eyes. I was like, I'm dying. I'm dying on the old course. Like, if you're gonna die anywhere, it's gonna be the old course, right? I'm running.
I'm fucking dying right now.
Dude,
I'm dying
honestly,
right now.
like my back goes, and I'm like, I don't care what happened.
But you were carrying your bag at that point.
No, I
'cause you picked
wasn't.
it up.
My golf clubs were in the car. So I was like, when he said, when Estelle called me and goes, dude, get here now, you can play with me, right? I was like going backwards. I was like, because I could see the car. I was like, do I get my golf clubs or do I go and sign up first? So I was going and I was like, no, I need my golf clubs. And then I would go towards the car and I'm like, no, I'm going to go sign up and then I'm going to get my golf clubs. It was like a panic for like 10 seconds. So I'm like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to run. I'm going to sign up. And then by the time that we all kind of sign up, pay, and get to the first tee, I have more than enough time to go and run to and get my golf clubs and then come back.
Yes.
So I run. I get to the golf course. Dude, I'm dying. I'm like, I'm here. Like, legit. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, dude. I was dying. And the guy, like, Dave, at the reception on the Old Course Pavilion, he goes to me, yeah, what number are you? I said, I'm number 29. And he goes, no, dude. Like, you can't play. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, no, like, you're too far away from the list. Stell, being Stell, didn't understand correctly. And when he said my cousin can play, the guy thought that because Stell was number 13, that I was number 14. That's why Stell said, quick, you can play with me. So I ran, pulled my back for no reason. So he's like, no, I'm really sorry, mate. Like, you can't play. You have to wait for your turn. So I'm like, not only am I'm not playing now, but even if I do get a chance to play, I've pulled my back. And I'm like, I'm fuming. I'm like, dude, so you're telling me that one chance that I might have to play the old course in reverse, I won't be able to play because I've pulled my back. Like, that would destroy me even more. I'd rather just say, no, you're not good enough to play or you can't play. Don't tell me that I have a chance to play and I can't play because I just pulled my back. And you know, when my back goes for like a week. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is, right? So I'm trying to contain myself. I'm trying my best to be happy for Stell. And to be fair, it was quite emotional again. We're walking together on the first tee. He gets a caddy. Shout out Tom. We're going to talk about Tom in a bit as well. But it's, yeah, so you get on the first tee. Mate, the people at St. Andrews that work for the old course are by far the nicest people and the most patient people I have ever met in my life. Keep in mind, the amount of people that play the old course, most of them, like me, are tourists. We're not locals, we're not students, we're not members. It's people like me, like Chenji, like Stell, that want to play the old course for its history. It's a once in a lifetime thing, and we want to go there and want to enjoy the day. And they make sure that you enjoy the day. So they will, like, you get escorted from the old pavilion to the first tee. They kind of, they get you around and they're like, okay, guys, so today you'll have the chance to play the greatest golf course in the world, the oldest golf course in the world. They give you like a brief history and they're like, okay, you're going to play it in reverse. And, and they give you like a little history lesson. And I'm like, you don't have to do this. You can just say, here's your tee, here's your scorecard, here's your pencil, get on with it. Even if you top a ball, they're like, no problem, have a mulligan. It's it's not stuffy. It's not high class. It's calm. It's relaxed. Everybody, they want to make sure that you have the best time possible. They will make they will do whatever they can to make sure that you have the best time, right? So Stell goes on the first tee. He's like, I need a caddy. Okay, so they call up, a caddy comes round. They get around the first tee. Everybody introduces themselves. I'm there like taking videos, taking pictures. Stell's like, he can't believe it. He's got his phone out taking pictures. I'm like, dude, get off your phone. I've got the pictures. Don't worry. I'll take videos and the pictures. You focus on your first shot because that's the most nerve-wracking shot you'll ever hit in your life. And just enjoy it. Take it all in. And he's like, oh, mate, I can't believe this, man. He's like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe we're going to... I'm like, man, take it all in. You're going to have a great time. Don't worry about the score. Score means nothing today. Just enjoy it. So he gets up on the first tee. Stell doesn't hit it a long way. Keep in mind, the first hole, it's 374-yard par 4. So because it's in reverse, you tee off the first tee and you go to the 17th green. That's the reverse order. And then you go from so the second hole is the 18th tee to the 16th green. That's how the reverse order goes, right?
Wow.
So the first hole, dude, my book is still wet. My scorecard and the course guide is still wet from that day. So off the first,
because it's been like, in your pants, and guess who's been pissing his pants lately?
yeah. So it's where are we? Okay, so the first tee, it's about 250 yards to the bridge, right? To the like little creek.
Yeah.
Nobody hits driver unless you want to carry the bridge. But us, we're not hitting driver, dude. Like, we're never gonna hit driver, because keep in mind, yes, it's raining, but the ground is so solid and so amazing. You get like 30 yards of rollout anyway, whether you hit a driver, whether you hit an iron, whatever. So so Stel goes up, he gets his driver. So his caddy's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, get an iron. He goes, no, trust me. Like, you haven't seen me play. I don't hit it far. I'm going to get my driver. And this is what the caddy said. This is how Stel knew that he got the best caddy. He goes, as long as you have the hands of a gay florist, you'll be fine with the driver. And I was like, I wish I was in this guy. Like, I know it's going to be nothing but banter for 18 holes.
Did he say like a super Scottish accent?
No. I don't even think he's. I don't remember if he's Scottish or not. I don't know. I don't think he is. But dude, the guy was the first second that he met the group, and the caddy was like just bantering left, right, and center, left, right, and center. And I was like, I wish I was in this group, man. I wish I was in. Anyway. So Stel gets up. Stel's got like a tendency of like slicing or like massively fading the ball. He gets a driver. He tees it all up. I'm there videoing him. Dude, he pulls out this monster drive, and he's like a little baby draw. And I'm like, where did that come from? He had the best driver out of the group, and he wasn't anywhere near he wasn't far from the bridge, but he was a perfect A1 position drive. So we walk down, I'm taking pictures, I'm taking videos. But by the second hole, I'm like, when they get to the second tee box, I'm like, okay, dude, I'm off. Like, because obviously I'm thinking I'm not allowed to walk with you. Go enjoy, and I'll see you. When you're on the 15th, call me, and I'll come and find you, and then I'll bring the whole family down and we can see you finish. He's like, cool, no problem. Little did I know that I could have walked the whole course with him, and I didn't know that I could do that. But it is what it is, just one of those things. So Stel ended up playing. Dude, he had like 15, maximum 20-mile-an-hour winds, no rain, no nothing. He shot 80 around the old course in reverse. He shot like eight over. He played really well. He played really good golf. Around 12:30, we get a phone call. We go with all the family. The wind was picking up significantly by this point. At this point, I'm refreshing. From 29, I go down to 26. From 26, I go to like 21. From 21, I go like to 18, and I'm like, okay, at least.
Wait, how can you go down only one by one if like Stel went from 13 to number 1?
What happened with Stel was the first two groups, 4 and 4, they completely cancelled.
Wow. Okay.
So from 13, he went to like 3.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So he got very lucky.
And then the previous two probably like wasn't able to show up like within 10 minutes.
No, it was 8 people. It was 2 4-balls that just didn't. They were like, yeah, we're not coming at 8 in the morning. Like, how do you like? That's just crazy to me. Like, imagine me, you, Stel, and Jack, for example. We go to play the old course. We have even if we have the heaviest night, and all we've done the night before is drink and drink and drink. You are still making that tee time the next day.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're like a member there, or if you're like local, if you're like even like students over there, right? I mean, you get to play it. I know,
time. Dude, but it's in reverse. Even if you're a student, you might not get a chance. Maybe, but it's so slim, right? It's like I don't know. But fair play. I'm so glad they cancelled, right?
So, but if he made it like at 13, right? Then if you're number 29, shouldn't you then be like 16?
It didn't. For some reason, it wasn't like that.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
It was, I don't know how he managed it, but for me, he went from 29 to like 26 to like 21 to 20 to, it didn't go from 29 to 16. That just didn't happen, right? I don't know why. And we're not going to ask any questions or whatever, but why Stel managed to get on even before his time. I don't know. I don't know if, So the way it works is you get a text saying please get to the golf. Like you're up in the what do you call it? You're up in the it's nearly your turn. This is not a guaranteed tee time, but it's nearly your turn. Please make your way to the old pavilion. So that's not saying you're going to play. It's just saying you're nearly there, but we just need you to be here and be ready, basically, right? That's basically what it means. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if, even though he was 13th, they were looking for number 8, but number 8 wasn't there. So like, okay, yeah, Stell, you'll do. Does that make sense? Because they just wanted people to kind of get out and play. So anyway, so Stell plays, he finishes, all great, all wicked. You know, he's very emotional, dude. I was walking the 18th fairway with him. Me, him, and his caddy was ahead, and Stell just turned around and he goes to me, dude, genuinely, he goes, thank you so much, because if it wasn't for you, I would never have this experience ever in my life. So he was like, thank you. And I was like, dude, so we kind of hugged, like on the middle of the 18th fairway, just before he hit his last shot.
Wait,
and he was
did he take a video on the Swilcan Bridge? I think pictures on the Swilcan Bridge.
Oh yeah, of course. You have to. It's a given. No matter how many times you go, you're still going to take pictures of the Swilcan Bridge, right? So he's like, dude, cool. You know, it is like, I'm so happy for you. Like, I was genuinely, I wasn't bitter and I wasn't jealous. I was genuinely so happy that he got to experience, like at least one of us got to experience it, even if my turn doesn't come up. So we finish and I'm like, dude, okay, let's go and get brunch because I haven't eaten all day. He hasn't eaten all day. Oh, keep in mind, I forgot to say, I pull my back. So as my back is like, I'm spazzing out at this point, and I'm like bent over a little bit. I'm hunched, and I can't like straighten my back. I go to the starter, Dave, and I says to him, dude, I'm number 28 or whatever it was. And he goes, look, there's no point you waiting around. Go home, and you're gonna get when it's nearly your turn, you're gonna get a text. So keep an eye on your phone, and you'll be fine. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I walk back to our house. I go home, and Christina's like, what happened? I'm like, oh yeah, this and this happened. I ran and I pulled my back. Thankfully, I have some really, really strong and really, really good back medication from Cyprus. Like this is one pop and you're good, right? So I'm like, Cyprus. And I had one left, and I always carry a pack in my golf bag because if I'm ever playing golf and my back goes, I just take one of them. Dude, Jack has taken one, Harry has taken one, Stell has taken one, and they're like when we're in holiday, and they're like, how is this working so well? I'm like, I don't know, man.
How have I never taken one anyway?
Listen, if you're playing together and your back goes, I got you. Don't worry, right? Perfect. So I had one left in my golf bag, and I'm like, thank God I've got this with me. So I pop that pill. I go home, and I'm waiting for it to work. And I go home, and I'm like, Christina, you need to rub my back. So she like scatters around the kitchen, finds some olive oil. She's rubbing my back with like olive oil to like try and like, you know, work, I don't know, something in my back to try and ease it out or whatever. So I'm laying in bed and I'm refreshing. And from like I said, I get down to like 19, 18, 17, 16 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, maybe I have a chance, right? So around 12:30, 1 o'clock, we finish. No, Stell finishes. And we're like, okay, let's go get some breakfast because nobody has eaten. We go, dude, St. Andrews, we haven't even seen St. Andrews. There's so many cool little spots like that you don't even, like, because we're so focused on the golf course, we don't go anywhere else. But where our house was literally, so you know where we parked for the 150th Open? It was the houses it was on the other side of those houses. It's less like a massive long road full of like shops and like little coffee shops and book shops and like Greg's and Nando's and Pizza Express and like little mom and pop shops and chip shops. It's wicked. It's such a cool little place. Dude, and it's heaving with people. It's packed. There's a Tesco Express. I'm not exaggerating. I went in that Tesco Express. I was by far the oldest person in that Tesco. Dude, it's all students. And they're all like going there like all day. It's just students. Everywhere students, dude. It's so cool to see.
No, because, you know, where we parked the car, that road, right? I think it's like a student accommodation over there. Like, there's like a student hall. There is like, you know, student like, what's called lecture halls or something like that.
Yeah, so. it's wicked. I love St. Andrews, man. So we go, we're trying to get like a table for 6 to get some food. And everything's full. It's like, have you got a reservation? No. Have you? No. Okay. So I'm like, okay, do you do takeaway? And they're like, yes. So we're like, okay, cool. So I said, look, we've got a really lovely home that we've rented. Let's make use of it. We'll get food for takeaway. We'll go home, we'll eat, and then me and Stell will make our way to the golf course. Yep. Everybody good. We order food, and I say to the girls, you take the kids, go home. Me and Stell will bring the food. there's no point in you waiting around. And like, you know, there's 6 people just standing around for no reason, right? So they head off, they go home. Me and Stell stay around, and I refresh. And from like 8, I go down to like 7. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I refresh. And from 7, I go down to like 6. And I'm start panicking at this point. And I'm like, Stell, I don't feel comfortable. And I'm like, excuse me, how long would the food be? And then she's like, 1 minute, I'll go check. And she like takes her time. She goes in the kitchen. And I'm like, dude.
And then you hit refresh.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I need to go. I hit refresh. I'm still number 6. I'm like, dude, I need to go. I have to go. I know Dave said I'll get a text. I don't feel comfortable getting a text. I need to be there. There's no way I'm going to miss my shot. So she comes back and she's like, yeah, another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm looking at her like, dude, I don't have 5 or 10 minutes in me, dude. I'm going to faint in this little coffee shop. And then he goes,
going to pull your back.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, but by this point, I'm like, I've been doing stretches all day. So yes, my back is hurting, but nowhere near as much as in the morning. So Estelle goes, go to the old pavilion. I'll get the food. I'll take the food home, and then I'll bring you yours to the old pavilion. I'm like, the last thing on my mind right now is food. So I like run. I don't run. It was like a fast walk to the old pavilion. By the time I get to the old pavilion, dude, I refresh number 5. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I walk in the old pavilion. I see my mate Dave. By this point, by the way, I've been in and out of this old pavilion like 8 times.
10 times. Yeah.
So
did you carry your bag this time?
Yes. So the bag was already in the little corner where you can keep your bag. So my bag was there ready to go, right? Like Dave knew who I was, the guy at reception. There was, like I said before, there was an event, there was a competition going on throughout the middle of the day. So in the morning, there was like people can play. In the afternoon, people can play. But in the middle, there was like a members and like invitees competition going on. So there was a table next to the reception where it was like the event organizers. Even they were like invested in like they saw me going in and out and like panicking, right? So I walk in and I'm number 5 in the queue. And I'm like, Dave, I'll show him the phone. I'm like, I'm number 5. He goes, dude. He didn't say dude, but he goes, look, there's 4 slots available.
Oh my God.
And you're number 5. I'm like, look, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm pretty sure I don't think you're going to get to play. And I'm like, you're joking. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm the first loser. So not only was I 29 going down to 5 or going down to 1, I'm the first person from that list that's not going to get to play the old course in reverse. Oh. And I'm like, I'd rather not enter the ballot. I'd rather not enter the singles queue. I'd rather just stay like be number 100 rather than be the first loser, the first guy to say, oh, I have like what a story to tell. Like, yeah, I had a chance, but I was the last. Like the person before me was the last person that went out. And I'm like, you're joking. He goes, look, I'm really sorry. Unless one of these 4 people drops out, you're not playing. So I'm like, okay, you know, it's in the hands of the golf gods at this point. So I'm sitting around it. At this point, I'm like just waiting around. It was like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm sitting around. Stell comes about half an hour later. He goes, so what happened? What happened? Keep in mind, like phone calls are going. Christiana's like, did you get on? Did you get on? And she's like, good luck. I hope you get on. Stell's like, where are you? And I'm like, dude, I'm 5th in the queue, but this and this happened. There's 4 slots available. I don't think I'm going to get it. And then Stell comes down. He brings me the food. I'm like, there eating. And we eat. And I'm like, I still got hope for some reason. And at this point, like I said, everybody around me, even staff and like the people behind the, what do you call it? Like behind the little counter where they were doing like breakfast cobs and like little drinks and whatever. Even Dave, like they were rooting for me because we got talking. Everybody was like, hey, like welcome to the old course. Have you played here before? And I'm like, no, it's my first time. And I'm number 5 in the queue and there's 4 slots. And while I'm speaking to these people, the people like surrounding like the whole area are like listening. And they can't help but get involved in the conversation. And they feel for me. They're like, you've been here all day and you're telling me that you're the first loser. And I'm like, I know, man. I'm like, but I'm still hoping. At this point, last thing I want to do is like talk to people. I don't want to talk to anyone. Just leave me alone. I don't want to talk. I just want to wait. If my turn comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But my heart was like half broken at this point. So everyone's like, dude, I really hope you get on. I really hope you get on. So I'm like I'm sitting on a high table, on a high chair, and I'm facing the reception. So I'm facing Dave. And every time, like, I'm like, you know, like when you're staring down someone, like you can, even though Dave was on his computer doing his work, he can feel my eyes like penetrating him. Right? So, and every time Dave would like look at me, I would like look away and pretend like I was doing something else. Or like, I'll be on my phone, like pretending like, and like my phone would be like locked, but I was pretending like I was scrolling. Anyway, so like 5 minutes go by, and like, at this point it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. It was like 2:30. I've been waiting there for like an hour and a half. No word. And I'm like, this is it, man. Like, this is it. There was a 2 time for 2:40 and then a 2 time for 3:10. The 2 slots. So then at one point, he goes, Theo. And I look up at him and he goes, you're up. And I'm like, what? And he goes, it's your turn, my friend. And I put my head on the table. And there's like tears running down my eyes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, are you joking? And he goes, I only have bad news. Like, I only have one little piece of bad news. And I said, what is it? And he goes, you have to tee off in 5 minutes. I'm like, that's not the problem, dude. So I go up and I'm like, are you actually joking? And there's like tears running down my face. And then there's like people around like, oh my God, you're going to get to play. Like, and they're like clapping. And they're like clapping. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, I'm trying to stay calm. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, bro, I'm about to cry right now, dude.
Dude, like, I'm like, I can't believe it's about to happen. So I'm like, there's one hurdle. My card needs to go through.
Imagine there's not.
Dude, I've spent so much money in the pro shop and like everywhere around. I'm like, I don't know if there's like a spending limit on my card. So he puts it up, £210. He goes, do you want a caddy? I said, yes, I do want a caddy. He does it. He goes, where are your golf clubs? Like, I'm like, they're literally right there. Like, I point the golf club, like, you can see my golf clubs right there. So, we you know, 210, I tap it, like, contactless. And I hear a beep, and I'm like, oh no, my card's not working. I'm like trying to wipe it. And he goes, no, there's too high of a limit. You need to insert your card. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God that's the problem. Put my card in, put my pin in, approved. Dude, it was the best approved I have ever seen in my life. So as soon as he says approved, he gives me my scorecard. He gives me the pin location. He gives me my like a yardage book. And he goes, your caddy will meet you on the first tee. And then he shouts somebody else out that works there, and he goes, please escort Theo to the first tee. At this point, Stell's outside on the putting green, just vaping. And I'm outside, and I up to this point, I haven't told Stell that I got the tee time. And I go outside, and I'm holding my bag, and I'm like, Stell, and then turn around, and he goes, and he saw me holding my golf club, he goes, no. And I'm like, we're teeing off, my friend.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh my God, wait. And he's like, wait. He gets his phone out, he starts recording, and then we get to the first tee, and I get introduced to, keep in mind, everybody was already on the tee, so they were all waiting for me. They haven't teed off or anything, but they were waiting for me. We played with 2 students and an American guy from LA, Colby, his name is. Shout out to you, Colby. We met Colby the day before, and we were going to play with him as the plan B on the castle course, so he was on our tee time. And it just so happened that he was number 23 and I was number 29. And it just so happened that we both played on the same tee time. So that was pretty wholesome as well, because we got talking the day before. So I'm on the first tee, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, like this is about to happen. So me and Stella like hug it out. We get the little introduction, whatever. And I'm like, there's only one way that I can calm my nerves. And the only one way that I can just kind of tee off in the right way. I open my bag, and I had a black label, what do you call it? Like a shot.
A whiskey.
Yeah, like a little bottle. And I'm like, and we were recording at this point, obviously, and I'm like, there's only one way to calm my nerves. So I open the black label, and I down that whiskey, and I'm like, let's go. Now I'm ready. So I pull up, caddy comes, introduces himself. Nothing like Stell's caddy. This caddy was like professional caddy. He's been caddying at the old course, not any other course, on the old course for the past 9 years, for at least 6 days a week, for at least 1 round per day. That round that he caddied for me was his second round of the day. The round before, he caddied for the CEO of Callaway. And then the second round, he was caddying for the CEO of Rice and Slice.
I mean, we're on the same level.
Yeah,
we're on the same level.
Dude,
exactly.
Side story. Obviously, I got talking to the caddy while we were playing. And he goes, yeah, I was caddying for the CEO of Callaway today. I'm like, oh, no way. And he goes, what was he like? He goes, very eccentric. Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, he kept losing balls. And obviously he was using Callaway balls. So he kept like slicing it here and there, whatever. He kept losing balls. And as a joke, I said to him, oh, I bet that's costing you a lot of money, you know, like having to get new balls all the time. Obviously being the CEO of Callaway, getting the balls for free. And he goes, you think I care about balls? And he puts his hand in his pocket and he started like just grabbing balls and just chucking them in the bushes. Brand new Callaway, like Chrome Soft, and started chucking them in the bushes.
You're joking.
I swear to God, that's what the caddy said to me. How mad is that?
The caddy said to him in a joking way.
Yeah. Like, I bet, you know, as a little banter thing, I bet your pocket is hurting now that you have to, like, you know, get a new ball out of the way. He goes, you think I care about balls? You think I'm worried about balls? And he's just like pulling out balls out his pockets and just chucking them. Literally in the middle of the fairway, like in bushes, in random like heather. Yeah, man, mad.
How many balls does the man have, mate? Like
So that composition that I said, I think it was like sponsored by Callaway, because in the box there was a massive box of like goodies, and it was like there was a massive box full of like Callaway Chrome Softs, like full of Callaway Chrome Soft. I could have easily taken a few, but I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'm not a thief. Other people are thieves, not me. Anyway, okay, we'll talk about that the thief in a bit, because it had nothing to do with me. It is what it is. So anyway, so I'm on the first tee, about to tee off, and he goes to me, how far do you hit your 8-iron? How far do you hit your pitching wedge? That's what he asked me. I told him, and he goes, okay, cool. So he goes to me, I want you to hit a nice soft 5-iron. I'm like, okay. Keep in mind, like I said, the creek is 250 yards away. At this point, the wind was at least 40 miles an hour. At least.
Yeah.
And it was never helping. No matter where you were on the golf course and no matter what shot you had, the wind was directly in your face. Dude, I had to use we'll get to that. It was horrible. But I'm like, proper Scottish weather. Beautiful British, beautiful Scottish summer. You can't play the old course and say in the middle of summer, and okay, what, you shot level par? Who cares? What did you shoot in the middle of winter with 40 mile an hour winds? That's what we want to know. That's what makes the golf course difficult. You know, it's not the greens. I mean, the greens are not easy, but it's what did you shoot on a windy day? That's, you know, you want the full experience. So I get my 5-iron and I hit, like, you know, I'm like, Stella was like, look, you're only going to have this chance once. Just smash it. Just hit this 5-iron as hard as you can. Dude, I smoked this 5-iron. First of all, how I even made contact with the 5-iron, the way when I was over the ball, I was shaking. I flushed this 5-iron. I was 2 yards from the creek. I hit I hit this 5-iron like 240 yards. Keep in mind, it was definitely not carry, because yes, it was wet, but dude, the rollout I got, it was like a beautiful little draw. And he landed and just carried on rolling. And I'm like, it's down there. We get to the ball. It's literally like that far away from the creek.
With a 5-iron.
With a 5-iron. And still got a driver.
The driver was like nowhere near the creek.
Nowhere near. Oh my God. So yeah. So Stel walks with me up to the second hole. And he goes, dude, it's way too cold, Stel said. I'm going to go back. Message me when you're on the 15th. So we started playing. I started talking with you know what I'm like. I start talking with the students. The students, they are obviously students at St. Andrews. And if you're a student at St. Andrews, you are allowed, you pay £370 a year, and you have access to all 7 courses as many times as you want. But to play the old course, you still have to enter the ballot. So, and the guy said to me, 1 out of 2 chances, we always get in. And, you know, it's just one of those things. If I don't get in on Monday, I'm going to get in on Wednesday. So it doesn't make a difference for me. So I'm like, cool. So they play all the courses all the time. And I'm like, value for money, there's probably not a better place in the world that you can pay, that you can be a student and pay £370 and have that much access to that many incredible championship golf courses.
I mean, that's how much one round costs in the summer in St. Andrews,
exactly.
Right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All course.
So, hold on. Let's have a look at my thing. Drinking the first thing you really playing. Okay. Like I said, Stel shot 80 with like mild winds. By the time we got to the 13th tee, not only was it like 45 mile an hour winds, it was it started raining. And when I mean raining. Like every shot, I had to take my glasses off, clean them, and then put them back on. I couldn't see in front of me. It was really, really, really bad. I was drenched all the way through. My head covers are still drying. I had them in the dryer all day, dude. And the inside, like, you know, like the, what's the word? The fluffy bit inside the head covers, that's still not dried out.
No way.
That's still not dried out. I ended up shooting 93, which I would take any day of the week. My putting was really, really bad. But again, it was raining that bad. You couldn't read putts. You were just kind of hitting, hoping it went close enough for a gimme, and then kind of moving on. But yeah, it was like my irons were really good. I made really good contact with every single shot. My driving was incredible. But then again, my driving was incredible. It was going like 200 yards. It was going nowhere because of the wind, but it was going where we wanted it to go, shall we say. Dude, but there was times, right? We've never really walked the whole golf course.
No.
Like, you know the first, you know the second, you know the third, you know the 16, 17, 18. But in between, like right at the bottom, you don't know what's going on. Dude, I'm standing on a tee box and I'm looking down and I'm like, where's the fairway? Where do I aim? Like, how far do I need to carry this? Where does it need to go? Where is the wind? Like, you have no idea what you're looking at. How people, like tourists, play there without a caddy is beyond me, especially if it's windy. Thank God I had a caddy. So my caddy would be like, yeah, see that church tower over there? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I want you to, because he saw that I was like drawing it all day. He was like, just hit your stock draw, even though my shot is not a stock draw, but I was playing for a draw when he was telling me, hit the shot there. And I'm like, okay. And then we'll go over. And it was like, great shot. And I'm like, because of the wind being so strong, I didn't know that I was aiming 200 yards to the left.
Wow.
But because the wind was so strong, it would obviously bring it back.
Yeah.
Or I would be aiming like 50 yards to the right. Or I'll be aiming like out of bounds. But because of where the wind was, my ball would go back in play. So if it wasn't for that caddy, I don't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I don't remember his name. But if it wasn't for that caddy, I genuinely would still be out there trying to like hack balls around. You have no idea where you're going with that caddy, dude. They were like, oh, see that bush? I'm like, which one? Goes, the one with the little yellow thing that goes, yeah, just aim just 5 yards right at that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm doing that. Obviously, some shots didn't work out, but most shots did. I made great contact. And there was times where my swing would be really fast, but I couldn't tell. So he was like, yeah, just slow down the swing. I don't want a full swing. I want a 3/4 swing. And I'm like, cool. Dude, it's the best having a caddy. He was carrying the clubs. He was like cleaning the ball. Because at one point, he put his hand out like this. And I thought he went to shake my hand. But he was like, no. Give me your club. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like he reached out to grab my club and I thought he was trying to shake my hand. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm not used to this. I've never had a caddy before. And there's me like trying to shake his hand every other hole. But yeah, by the end, I kind of got used to it.
But dude, that's like the best value caddy out there because like, you know, you already had some back spasms, right? So like having somebody carry your back.
100%.
Like,
it was the best. It was the best.
Did you ask Stel as well? Like, you know, like what do you reckon he would have shot if he hadn't had his caddy?
I haven't actually, but it would be a very, very, very high number because of you don't know where you're going. You genuinely you're up there and you're like there was so many blind tee shots where, and to be fair, it's not hilly, so he's not like, oh, you know, and there's no posts, you know, like how you have like the black and white posts. There's none of that. It's just you just need to know where you're going, and it's all flat. And it's all bushes. There's no trees to kind of go off. It's all just bushes. And like the St. Andrews skyline. Is it skyline? Is that what you call it? Like the buildings in the background. So he's like, okay, you see that church tower? I want you 20 yards left of that. Or you see that white building over there? I want you directly at that. That's how they were caddying. And I'm like, dude, like if I don't know where I'm going as a tourist, obviously the students, they knew exactly where they're going. And what really amazed me, they played the course so much, even though they were playing it in reverse, they knew exactly where they were going. And I'm like, guys, like, it's in reverse. Have you played it before? He goes, no, we have never played it in reverse. It's the first time. I'm like, how do you know, like, where each tee box is and where to leave your bag and where to aim? He goes, because we've played this course normal so often, we know where the misses are. And there's loads of fairways where they're kind of joining together. There was once, I want to say on the 16th tee, 16th, one sec. 16th hole. There we go. So 16th hole is the fourth tee going to the second green. So I was on the fourth tee and he goes to me, yeah, just aim over there. So I aim over there. Obviously, wind takes it back. Dude, I didn't realize that he was telling me to, like, I was aiming to on the new course. I was trying to get the ball to land on a completely different golf course. But because the wind was so strong, he knew that the ball would kind of come round. I almost holed out twice.
No way.
Once I did it, I almost holed out in front of Christiana and Stel. There's a video. There's a video. I was sending you the video. I didn't post it anywhere. Where I hit a ball. I think it was like a 9-iron. Dude, he was like I hit a 9-iron, like 100, like it was 100-yard, like a 90-yard shot. And he goes, yeah, hit a full 9-iron. A full 9-iron goes like 135, 140 yards. And he goes to me, I know it looks near. Like at the beginning, he like on the first hole, I was 5-iron in, and then I had 100 yards left. And he goes to me, let's go with a 100-yard. No, he goes to me, what's your 100 yards? It's a 50-degree wedge. And he goes, okay, let's hit pitching wedge. And I was, because the first green, which is the 17th green, and like, you know, it's a tiny little green, and then over that is that famous wall, and over that is like the road. I was like, if I hit this well, it's going to go way over the green. It's going to go way over the wall. It's going to go out of bounds. So I hit a pitching wedge, like you said, but because I didn't trust him, I would be like, I did like a half pitching wedge, and obviously it got nowhere near. So as I'm walking to the green, I said to Stel, shall I trust my caddy on what he's saying? Because like that was a 100-yard shot and he gave me a pitching wedge. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable hitting a pitching wedge. And he goes, trust me, they know what they're talking about. So after that, if he said, I was like 150 yards to the green and he goes, hit a full 5-iron. I'm like, you do understand that on the first, I smoked a 5-iron 240 yards, yeah? And he goes, trust me, just hit a 5-iron. And I smoked this 5-iron 150 yards and he wouldn't even get to the green. And I'm like, how am I ever going to finish this golf course without help? How is it possible?
That's crazy.
It's mad.
So how did the American, like Kobe or something, right? Like, how did he do?
He did okay. He played a lot worse than me. His putting was actually pretty decent. He was.
Yeah, but he didn't get a caddy, did he?
No, he didn't. But he did get some free advice, like very little advice from my caddy and from the students. But it's like, I don't think he enjoyed it as much as I did. Because first of all, his was like very last minute.
How much was the caddy?
You can tip him whatever you think he's worth. I gave him £100. Stel gave his caddy £80 for the reason of, because Stel's caddy was helping every single player, because Stel's group, they were all tourists. So to keep to keep the speed of play going, Stel's caddy was like, he caddied for everybody basically, but only carried Stel's bag. So while they were playing and everybody got friendly, Stel was like, guys, I think you should tip him something. So Stel gave him £80, and then the other guys gave him like £40 each or something, which is not a bad day work, is it, for a caddy? Yeah. So obviously my caddy only caddied for me. He didn't help anybody else. Gave a bit of advice to Colby. The students were helping out Colby a little bit, but again, there's no way I would have enjoyed it as much if I didn't have a caddy, because you just don't know where you're going. Like my caddy was like, okay, he was like honing in. The more we were playing and the more shots I was having, he was honing in on my yardages, and he was like, okay, like I got this. Just hit this 3-wood. And I'm like, hit a 3-wood. Dude, there was like 170. There's 2 par 3s. I want to say the 7th and the 11th, but I don't remember. No, 8th and the 11th. Dude, the 8th, 11. The 11th, par 3, 170 yards, and he made me get a 3-wood. 170 yards with a 3-wood. And I'm like, and I'm scared to hit it, because where the 10, 11, 12, 13 holes are, you're like crossing across from each other. So there's like golfers everywhere, and you're like, what the hell's going on? It's like so overwhelming. Like to walk from the 8th tee box to go to the 8th green, you have to walk over like another, like the 7th green. And you're like, what is going on, guys? But yeah, so he gave me a 3-wood. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, trust me. And I hit this 3-wood. I did slice it. But yeah, it like even with a slice, it made nowhere near the green. And I'm like, bloody hell, man. But yeah, shooting 93, I'm so happy. But it was the greatest experience ever. On the 15th hole, Christiana and Stel came down to see me. They walked the last few holes with me. It was the greatest experience. I'm so grateful and I'm so happy I got to experience this. I'm so happy that both me and Stel got to experience this. I went into the course very optimistic. I had a Pro V1 and I wrote reverse on it. I put my little pink dots and I wrote reverse on it in big letters, thinking, oh yeah, I'll go through this course with one ball. I lost that ball within like the second hole. I was like, okay, there goes that dream. But it was such an incredible experience. We were on the first tee, and as I was about to tee off, people that were invested in my story that didn't see me tee off, didn't see me get a chance, they saw me about to tee off, and they all came and like shook my hand, and they were like, dude, we're so happy for you. Like, and I'm like, thank you, man. It was such a wholesome day. It was absolutely incredible. The fact that both me and Stel got to play the old course. It was by far like playing Augusta. I feel like playing Augusta might be easier. I know it can't be easier, but I don't know. Like the only thing that would trump what we had was playing Augusta. Like, there's no other golf course in the world that you can like tell me to go and play, and I'll be as excited or as nervous or as what's the word, or as unexpected to play that golf course than the old course in reverse, which never happens, other than Augusta. So it was incredible. I obviously, we got scorecards, and I'm gonna frame my scorecard. I'm gonna a yardage book and the what do you call it? Like the pin locations. I've got all of that as well. All of this is dripping wet. Still, it's all wet because obviously I was wet through and through.
Oh, but that's the memory, isn't it?
That's it.
You know?
It's part of the character of what we went through, and it will bring back all the memories, all signed by the caddy and myself. And it's all like, look, dude, it already looks like it's like 3 years old, this scorecard, and it's like 2 days old. And Stel did something naughty, but I'm so glad he did. We're going to talk about this. I showed this. I showed this to Chenji before we started. I'm like, dude, we're not going to talk about this on the podcast, but it's the end of the podcast. So for whoever's listening or watching, Easter egg for you. So Stel. So like I said, in between the tee times, like the morning and the afternoon tee times, there was a competition going on, and every single. So the normal caddies, they're wearing blue bibs with St. Andrews links or whatever. But for this competition, they were all wearing black bibs, and the box with the bibs and the Callaway balls were right next to this event desk or whatever in the old pavilion. So I was like, oh, imagine that souvenir to have like a caddy's bib. So out of nowhere at night, without me even knowing, Stel managed to get one. How he got one, I don't know. I'm not asking any questions, but he gave it to me as a little present and as a little thank you. So he got me one of the bibs from St. Andrews Old Course for the caddy bibs. And the best bit is, obviously, the front it says St. Andrews links. The back bit, lads, it says the Old Course reversed. So
that is the sickest thing I've ever seen.
This is so cool. And this is going to get framed along with all of with pictures of the day, with a scorecard, yardage book, my, the pin location. It's all going to get in a massive big frame. And it's going to be probably...
It's something to tell the grandkids about.
Oh, mate, it's going to be... Tiger Woods painting right now is number 2 to this memorabilia like frame that I'm going to have in my house. It's brilliant. I think that is it, guys. I know I've talked a lot. I know I've rambled on for ages.
We could have easily talked this for like 3 hours.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure there was bits that I forgot throughout the day, and I'd be like, oh, I can't believe I didn't talk about it in the podcast. But look, I've been going on for like an hour and 5 minutes or whatever it's been. So guys, thank you for listening. I'm so glad I have this platform to be able to like tell all this stuff, because it would be not a shame, but yes, I've experienced it, but it's different when you experience it and then you get to talk about it and people are listening. And hopefully people are like, I'm so glad you got to experience this. Do you know what I mean?
Theo, I think I forgot to hit record button.
It's okay. I talk most of the time anyway.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know, but I'm gonna leave you with this, right? So this is I forgot to talk about this earlier. This is on the St. Andrews website, and it's a quote, and it reads, "I've always wanted to play it backwards. One time before I die, I think that will be just a blast because I can see how certain bunkers why they were put there." And then if you play it backwards, you see it. It's very apparent. That's totally in play. That one day would be a lot of fun to be able to do it. And that quote is from Tiger Woods. dude, not even Tiger Woods has played this golf course backwards. And it's the only dream he has left in golf. And somehow, I've managed to do it. It's crazy. It's mental.
Just the lad from Lefkara.
Just the lad from Lefkara. It's mad. Dude, I'm hoping people are like, all my friends and family have listened to the podcast, because the amount of like times I've told this story and like this podcast that we've just had, I've told the day or the running up to the day of what happened on the old course about 25 times. And I'm like, I'm done. Guys, I'm finished. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've had a great time. It was the best time ever. Best memory I could possibly ask for, sharing it with my cousin. But please, from now on, and whoever asks me, how was the old course? I'm going to say...
Download, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Episode 71. I answer all your questions. I can't be bothered.
Our best episode yet.
I can't wait to talk about when we play Augusta, man. It's going to be a good one. Anyway, guys, on that note, please like and subscribe. Get in touch. Send us all your, questions or whatever you want to know about us. Go on Instagram and TikTok at Rasa Slice Podcast. And we will see you again this time next week. Take care. Bye.